Elijah controlled the game for us. He was really good, but overall our defense was better than it's been. We were better in the perimeter, better inside. We rebounded the ball well, but I thought Bryson came in and did a really good job. I think without the goggles, this is the first day he's really played without them, and I think that makes a difference.
Did Buddy turn an ankle?
He's turned an ankle. It's not nothing wrong. It's a sprained ankle. We haven't shot it well in a long time, and this game could have gotten close, but, Joe makes those 3 threes, and, we haven't been making those shots, and, we just haven't been shooting well from the 3, and I thought in the first half, Elijah hit a couple, and Joe missed his. We missed our first 5, I think, wide open, and then, we were 8 for 16 or 17 after that, so it helps when we make some of those, and, it makes a difference. Bryson hit a nice one, Joe hit some, and that makes a big difference in what happens. Marek made some good plays. He couldn't finish. He just couldn't finish in there. He had a lot of good opportunities. He just couldn't finish anything. And Quincy still puts his head down, and if a guy waits there, he would charge every time. So it's something he's got to learn, and he's not making progress in that area at all right now. So we got to keep working on that. We've got to get better. Baramba blocked some shots. He's got 4 blocks and 5 steals, and those have been points. Those have been points. Those have been 10 points or 12 points. And when he plays like that, we're obviously a much, much better team.
Elijah was so good tonight. He's been so consistent all year. Why do you think he's not getting more attention for conference player?
I don't even know. That ignorance, I can't help you. If you watch, you know. If you don't watch, you don't know. It's not the points. He's 4 or 5 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game, something like that. I don't know. Joe had 52 points in a week and didn't get Freshman of the Week. So, I can't help. I don't know who's voting on these things. People that don't watch basketball and don't know anything about it. Or are prejudiced, one or the other. I can't tell you what the answer is.
Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetic Sean and Joe.
What's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. The universal handle for the socials is @Cuse Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. Rate, review, and subscribe, whatever platform you listen on. Those really help us out on iTunes. We appreciate everybody who has already done so. If you love it, go. What are you waiting for? Go rate it and review it. And if you don't love it and you ain't got nothing nice to say, then keep it to yourself, like we always say. Here, keep it to yourself. Joe cracks open a beer.
Like you always say.
Right, like I always say, yes. Joe cracked open a beer. It's a good sign. Joe is back to his normal self. So,
Took a while.
It took a minute. It did. So, let's see. Joe, we may... Are we going to have a scheduling issue to deal with again? I just want to give a heads up if we are.
No, we'll be fine.
We should be good? Okay. Yeah. We should be good after the UNC game. We should be able to get here without any issues. So, okay. All right. Syracuse took the Panthers behind the woodshed 72-49 to improve to 16-12 and 9-8 in the ACC. The Orange prepare to host North Carolina on Saturday, February 29th at 4 o'clock. It is senior day in the Dome, and should be interesting. TV, ESPN, 4 o'clock, as I said. So
no seniors.
No seniors. So that should be interesting. So, anyway, we are going to get into all that stuff, but you know the routine, you know what I've got to do, and that is I've got to talk about my bookie. Now, whether or not you have been betting for years and are a veteran, or it is your first time, my bookie is your best bet this season. If you're not sure how to do it, or if you have questions, my bookie's patient customer service can help you through the process, walk you through it, answer any of the questions that you have, and then you'll be good to go. If you're the kind of guy or gal who likes to bet a little and win a lot, try a parlay. For instance, if you like a couple of the big favorites of the week, parlays are perfect because they let you bet on multiple games together for a much bigger payout. So if you're going to bet this season, do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag because no one gives you more ways to win. Don't just sit on the sidelines, folks. Get in the game with mybookie.ag. And if you join right now, MyBookie will double your deposit dollar for dollar. Use the promo code CHAIR to activate that offer. That's promo code CHAIR, CHAIR, to double your cash up to $1,000. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. Thank you, MyBookie. All right, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for what?
I was thanking MyBookie.
Oh, yeah, thank you, MyBookie. Okay. So
I love your read. You did such a good job.
Thank you.
Look forward to it every episode.
Do you?
I hope it continues for a very, very long time.
The same words every time. Guys, I really do try to mix it up. I really do. I try to go off script. What ends up happening is I lose my train of thought. Sometimes I just put my nose down and just do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And get it over with, for crying out loud. Thank you, MyBookie. You know, seriously.
MyBookie for life.
You gonna pour some out for your homies too?
I already did.
Okay, yeah, and you're down your throat, down the gullet. Pitt's champagne.
I can't pour it on my rug.
Pitt's champagne. Did we figure that out? Yeah, that guy. He hit 2 free throws at the 12:27 mark to put his team up 9-8, and that would be Pitt's largest lead of the game. Syracuse headed into the locker room at the end of the first half, up 16, 37-21. Pitt started off strong in the second half for about a minute. They went on a 5-0 run, but the orange would prove to be too much for the Panthers, obviously. We all watched the game. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Syracuse went up by 25, 62-37 with a Guerrier layup halfway through the second half. Brendan Paul would make a buzzer beater just for the hell of it. Hit a 3 at the buzzer. Why not? You know, rub it in a little bit.
Walk-ons are allowed to shoot, man.
Yeah, hell yes. Absolutely. The good. Sidibe. That is the good. Let me tell you what. With a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and the cherry on top, 4 blocks, 5 steals. Just a freaking maniac. Oh, my gosh. The past 2 games, Sidibe has been electric. I can't say enough about it. Hughes finished with a game-high 25 points. Syracuse was +9 on the boards, 41-32. Syracuse shot 46.4% from the field and 36.4% from 3. And finally, the officiating goes into the good category, Joe. Congratulations to the officials. We appreciate you.
Half was
we appreciate you throwing us a bone there. We appreciate that. The bad. Buddy sprained his ankle. We think he's going to be good, but still bad nonetheless. 15 turnovers for Syracuse, and some sloppy play, especially at the beginning of the game. Just some sloppy turnovers. They're moving really fast, and that's when I noticed a lot of the mistakes, and they're just pushing too hard and trying to do too much at once. So the ugly Pitt was pitiful, 29.1, 16 of 55 from the field. Oh, that's ugly. 23.1, 6 or 21 from 3. That's ugly. Topped off with 17 turnovers. Ugly, all the way around. Joe.
Yeah.
That's all I got. The good, bad, the ugly. What do you got?
There was a lot of good and a lot of ugly. We talked at halftime, and I don't remember a team. We beat Georgia Tech by 34, and I don't remember it looking that ugly.
Yeah, I know. Right?
So, just them throwing the ball. I mean, those passes, some of them weren't even close. Didn't even touch a Pittsburgh player's hand. They just
they went right. They
weren't being aggressive in the beginning, and then when they were, they created fouls. Just got the foul discrepancy. I mean, I know that the other coaches and the fans were kind of upset at the fouls and stuff, but I mean they were just passing the ball around the outside and then just taking a bad shot, and we really weren't like in a position to foul them. So I mean, they might have missed 1 or 2, but it was nothing crazy. And those guys, how they play defense, so there's going to be fouls called. But yeah, I mean, it took us a little while to get going, and then once we got going, then I really wasn't worried. That was one of the first games in a long time where we really weren't worried. And And I know there's a lot of people that think that we're NIT no matter what, unless we win the ACC championship, and that we don't really have the greatest of games left on the regular season slate that can help us enough. But I'll tell you what, winning by 23 helps on the road. So if there's you know what I mean? That's a different.
Yeah,
it kind of people
test.
see that. That's the eye test, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was immediately something last night that I saw with Joe Lenardi. He was on ESPN or something like that, talking about how that it helps and they looked impressive and that they need more wins like this. And he said that for somehow, some way, he feels like he's still going to be talking about Syracuse come.
He can't escape it. That guy just cannot escape it.
And that's what it is. He's like, he seems like it's every year it comes to either they're just going to barely get in the tournament and go on some type of run or maybe they're going to do that in the ACC tournament. That's something they haven't done at all. I mean, we've only got one ACC tournament win since we've been in the ACC, correct? So,
last year.
But yeah, man, it was definitely good to see everyone, all around. And, there's a lot of different comments as far as fan feedback on Facebook and stuff like that, that have a lot to say about Sidibe, obviously, like you brought up, and just, what could have been, that kind of stuff. And it's nice to finally see. I mean, you see Buddy Boeheim go out and Goodine come and get some good minutes, and to know that we can still win a game like that with that kind of injury and stuff like that. I don't think it's serious. They said he was available, but
emergency situation.
If you're available, it's not right. If you're available, it's not serious. And I think that he just had that big old ice pack on because that's just going to help the healing process.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. So, overall, just an impressive win, and that's what we need to do. And it's not an impressive opponent. It's not a huge quadrant one, or probably. I mean, I don't know if it was quadrant 2 or not. Right.
It was a quad 2 game, I believe.
Well, it wasn't a quadrant 1 game, but to go on the road, nonetheless, in a conference game and win by 23, that's impressive.
And it's going to change, but let's see. They were 100 in the net, so basically they've got another 35 points to slide.
Like 150.
What's that? No, it goes to 135 in a way in quad 2.
Oh, okay.
So they got 35 more spots cushion before it becomes a quad 3 win. So, and that's fluid. It's always changing. So, all right, let's get to it.
It's time to hear from you, the loudmouths from the Loud House.
All right, y'all know what to do. At the end of every game, I prompt you to give your thoughts on the game by asking for your thoughts on the game. Go ahead and leave your comments. We sift through them. We pick some good ones. We pick some bad ones. Either way, we're picking some. You want me to start, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Twitter. What do you think?
Yeah, let's start with Twitter, bud.
All right. Our buddy Tony Staffier, he says, Pitt is an absolute dumpster fire. Wow. This Cuse team may be the best road team in the history of college basketball to not make the NCAA tournament. Now, that's a good point. It's possible. Five road wins in conference play, I believe, right? Is that 5? I believe it is.
Yeah, we were 4-4, I believe, going into that game, right?
Yeah. So, it's quite possible. Really good on the road. And this one worried me. How about unintended shout out here to the Zoo for their energy. I've got to be honest, a little jealous of that. I think they need to move the students along the sideline or something. I got to do something different there. I don't like them being way over in the corner. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but I just don't. With the boosters and with the money and stuff like that, I don't think we're going to see that.
Exactly. Which is very, very. It sucks. It's disappointing. I was trying to say. Tough word to find sometimes. So anyway, good point, Tony. Worth bringing up. It's quite possible, but we'll see. We still got a shot, but. They've been awesome on the road. We're going to see how they could do in neutral site, too, as well. So, hopefully, they can do something in the tournament. So, you got one, Joe?
Actually, we'll start out with Alex, Facebook, my brother. Sidibe. He says, wow, Sidibe didn't foul out for the first time in a while. I think they know that we are in desperation mode to make the tourney. Keep the same energy and continue winning.
Yeah, and it's like they don't have anything to there's no cares. There's no more F's to give. Just go out there,
Right.
go out there and play. It's not a ton of pressure on them, really. When you think about it, right?
Well, yeah,
Especially
and the couple on that top fan Daryl. The team, since losing to Louisville, has been playing like they have no worries. I like the energy this team is showing. The team seems to be playing more like a team. I hope this play continues to help them in the future, along with a solid run in the ACC tournament.
Daryl, thanks for being a top fan, buddy. I appreciate that. Is Alex a top fan, Joe? Is Alex a top fan?
He's not.
Oh my gosh, Alex, that's blood, bro. That's blood.
He'll get there.
Okay.
He'll definitely get there.
All right.
So, but yeah, no, I thought they were both good comments and kind of had the same type of stuff. It's different energy, and it's almost like what James said last podcast when he said that the Clemson game, when we lost that game, it kind of felt like it took all the air out of the wings, and then they felt like they were pressing because then they felt like they had to win the Duke game. And then when you put that pressure on yourself, sometimes it doesn't always work out in a positive way. So, yeah, I like the way that they've been playing for the last 3 halves, and we hope that it can continue.
Yeah, the last 3 halves, important to point that out, right? So, and I don't know if you have any comments on Buddy. Do you have any either way on that? I don't want to talk about it yet if you do.
Not any like negative ones or anything like that.
Okay,
more or less just like hoping.
All right, well,
hope that he's going to be better and all that kind of stuff.
Right, I was expecting to see some negativity, being like, "Oh, I told you, Buddy was, overrated or whatever."
I mean, that would be low blow a little bit.
It would be a low blow, but I don't put it past some of these people sometimes.
I mean, there's a bunch of people that said, I hope Buddy gets better. Nice to see that we can win.
Respond without him, sure. Yeah.
Right.
At ZW Rodburn, let's see. Hughes showed why this will be his last year with the Orange. Really showed his all-around game. Sidibe was the anchor of the zone needs. Few too many turnovers for Joe Girard and Dolzai, but can't argue with the result. Going to be a much tougher game on Saturday versus UNC, and we'll get into the UNC game here after this segment. But it was like we mentioned, it was a little sloppy in the beginning, and Girard had 5 and Dolzai had 5 turnovers. So that's 10 of the 15. So
yeah. Well, they also I felt like a lot of those from. I know that Girard had a couple early ones, but there was other ones where, near the end where the game was kind of in hand and he was trying to be fancy and make some passes that he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, he got chewed out for that.
No, he definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, he got chewed out for that. You got any more?
Yeah.
You're up.
Brian,
up,
sorry. Yeah, top fan Brian. Sidibe and Hughes played great. I like how Godin played as well. If Sidibe plays like that, SU will surprise some teams. Went out and do some damage in the ACC tourney.
Sidibe, he got through the first half with 2 fouls. And I said, Joe, when we talked at halftime, I said, look, if he doesn't get a foul in the first 2 minutes of the second half, we'll be in good shape, right? He goes and gets 2 in the first 3 minutes.
We kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, I know, but 27 minutes he sat for a bit, and Guerrier did okay. He held his ground there. Guerrier kind of another lackluster performance, left a little bit to be desired there. But Sidibe did not foul out. He had a fantastic game with the double and the blocks and the steals that I mentioned. How about the one he just grabbed out of the stars? I mean, where has that action been all year? And, he had a couple of these steals were just bounce passes right to him, but who cares? Pitt with the bounce passes right to Sidibe and Guerrier a couple times was just awful.
Well, and like I told you too, the thing with Sidibe is just getting him the ball. I mean, obviously some of it was obviously his energy. And yesterday he was all over the place. There was a couple times where I saw him. He went up, came right back down, wasn't watching the ball, went right back up again. He's the last 2 games he's been correcting some of the things that maybe I didn't think were able to be corrected at this point.
Yeah.
And I think he's starting to prove some people wrong. And I think a lot of it, again, I think that obviously they're probably working with him in practice and stuff like that. But some of the stuff that Boeheim's been saying, I mean, how long are you going to let your coach kind of? And we've talked about that. That's his motivation. That's his way of motivating. And I know that just recently, I think it was after the Georgia Tech game, but before, I don't know if it was after Georgia Tech. Don't quote me on that. But he had an interview where they talked about the getting out rebounded and the lack of talent down low, and he talked about how he had to blame himself for not recruiting the bigger physical guys, right? I mean, when you're that supposed to be that bigger physical guy on that team, and you hear that, that's just that's a shot to the ego. And last night he looked like he was playing to prove something. I don't know about you.
Well, here's my favorite tweet of the game. This is the first time we've ever done a tweet of the game, but we're doing a tweet of the game right now. @Noons Magician says, Brahma looking like Flopposaurus Rex out there, but it's working.
It works.
Looking like Flopposaurus Rex out there, but it's working. Absolutely. I'll take it any day. Look,
yeah.
He played great. He's played great the past 2 games. If he could keep this up, that's a problem for people.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we've been saying it, and your dad is a Sidibe faithful, right?
Oh, I heard it today.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. So,
I mean, and like I told you last night, to his defense, like the hardest part is getting Sidibe the ball
without him fumbling it.
Well, yeah, with the ball getting to him and then him getting it, gathering it, and getting it high enough so it's not stolen. But when he usually gets that shot around that cylinder, they seem to always go in, even when they don't look that great. So he gets the bounces. He's got that shooter's touchdown there. It's just getting the ball and getting it up there, like, seems to be the hardest thing. So, but even like that alley-oop he caught up in the air, the one that Guerrier threw up, like,
yeah, it's beautiful.
Usually that's something that, I mean, earlier this year, that's something that he catches, comes back down and does a layup or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
might get fouled and miss it and go 1 for 1 from the line. Like that's just, I mean, and he came down with that, and I mean, that's just what we've been looking for all year.
I forgot to add this to my bad. I did look at it and meant to do that, but 63.2 from the line, and that was his only struggle yesterday. He was 5 for 6 from the field, and 3 for 6 from the line. So, just
I only expect about 50% from him anyway.
If I'm getting 50%, I think I'm good. Right? Out of Sidibe, right? So, okay.
Yeah, he missed the 2, and then he came back and made both of them, right? So.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't know if you pointed it out last night or today, but he's really good down there around the rim. Like, it's usually going in. So, which I'd never
just said that.
You just I wasn't listening. I was looking at the free throws. I'm sorry.
All good.
At Logan Wagner, too. Great W. Really liked Goodine, Sidibe, and Doley. This team could definitely win the ACC, especially playing defense like they did tonight. All right, hold on 1 second.
Skirt.
Pump the brakes, Logan. I don't know about.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Look,
I love the optimism.
Can they? Sure. I wouldn't doubt him in any game, right, Joe? It's just a tough road to hoe. But let's talk about what's his name? Goodine, real quick. So 5 points. He played good. I thought the thing I noticed about him though really was, first of all, he hit a 3, which was great. And he's been trying.
He can hit threes.
Yeah, he can hit threes. He was 1 for 3.
He came in known as a scorer.
Yeah, absolutely. He got 18 minutes. That's excellent. That's good. That's gonna help this kid. You can't grow if you don't get the minutes. I mean, you can practice and practice and practice, but in-game situations is how you really grow. So, but his ball handling, I thought was really good. I thought it was good. I wasn't overly impressed, but I trust him, I guess is what I'm saying. Right? Is that fair?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And he had that little nice poke behind for that steal.
Yeah.
Again, this is just a situation where when you're a bench player, I mean, this is the most minutes he's played.
Right.
How long? So when you're a bench player that usually only comes in 2, 3, 4 minutes at a time because of some randomness, then your lease is so short. So you're just stepping on eggshells out there, not trying to make a mistake and everything. When you're in there and you know that you pretty much are going to get a bulk of the minutes, then that's where you see that confidence. That's where you actually see him start to drive, make passes. I mean, he only played 18 minutes. He led the team with 4 assists. He scored 5 points. He hit the 3 and then went and he made that mid-range jumper and showed confidence in the fact that he can score and he can shoot. So that's only a glimpse. We don't need him to do that, obviously, this year. And right now there's not room, especially with Elijah. But that was nice to see, to know that maybe we got something in our back pocket in one of these games down the stretch and something to fall back on for a scoring option next year if some people do leave. Right. So, and I just wanted to also bring up, because I know you want to basically talk more about Godin, but in that same comment, that person talked about what Logan talked about.
Yeah. At Logan Wagner, too.
Yeah, that person. So awful. Sorry, Logan. Look, talked about the defense, right? And we got to, like I said, that was my screeching halt and pump the brakes. It was more or less because we have to understand the opponent, understand the limitations. You were way more worried about this game than I was, just because of the first game and the fact that they're just not a great shooting team. So that's a team that we can really.
I was more worried about the crowd, and they were good. Just Pitt didn't respond to it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they were good in an away game, especially a rivalry and a team that's already lost to you before early in the season. Yeah, that's something that can worry. But
and we've beat them 7 times in a row now.
But you saw the struggles. Like the zone, they just do not match up good with the zone.
No,
and that's
not
just
at
the
all.
thing. It's like it all comes down to how another team matches up with us. So, I mean, yes, we definitely played more active defense in there with. Obviously, Sidibe playing the game that he played, and people playing out of foul, people staying out of foul trouble. So sure, we can play a little bit more aggressively, but other teams that have different offensive options are going to give us struggles.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it before earlier in the year when we went on that run, and it was basically like some teams match up better against us than others as far as defensively. So when we play against that type of team like a Pittsburgh, like they're going to make our defense look better than they are.
Exactly. And, you take advantage of those opportunities when those matchups come. You got to expose it. So,
100%.
As far as Pitt's shooting goes, I think they're the worst in the ACC, by the way, from distance. So,
yeah,
they're really not good at all. But we scored 69 points in the first game, 72 in the second. And then we held them to 61 points in the first and 49 in the second. So, let's improve. Definite improvement. If you look at the box scores, put them side by side, Syracuse shot way better. Gerard only with like 7 points, I think, in the first game. Yeah. So, just better play all around the second time, which is good. I mean, it should be. You expect your team to be able to do that. Unfortunately, Pitt fans did too.
Yeah, the guy that banana in the crowd looked pretty
my
upset.
Gosh. It did look like I won't even say. Looked like
he was dancing in the crowd when they were down 17 in a banana suit.
Yeah, it looked like a banana suit. Definitely.
He was dressed up as a banana.
No, I know. Do you got another one? I got one more.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good.
Most of mine we've already hit up. So
okay, well we'll hit this one real quick, and maybe we already did it. Let's see. At K Nabiwaniak, and I pick these, and then we talk, and sometimes we hit on stuff. He says, "So nice to see Brahma and Bryson play well. Also awesome that the team rallied after Buddy went down. Great road win. I mean, honestly, what did you think when Buddy went out though? And he came back with ice on his leg. Were you like, oh my gosh, another one of these games or what? I was a little worried.
Well, I mean,
they were playing so good though. It was,
Let's put it this way: when that type of thing is serious like that, then they come out in a walking boot.
Exactly.
Not with their sneaker on and still ice.
Right.
And so that's kind of where I was with that, and they pretty much told us pretty early that. Now, don't get me wrong. When he did it, I knew that it wasn't just one of those ones where you kind of, half limply jog off to the side and tighten up your sneaker and get back out there. Like it was a rough one.
Yeah, he was grimacing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean it's I've been there with that, but again, if it's serious, if you're talking about a break or some severe high ankle sprain that could be more than a week or something, then you're talking they're coming out in a walking boot. You're not coming out like that. So, and then once I heard that he was available with emergency, then I knew that everything was okay, and all that ice is just precautionary, just to keep the swelling down so that they can get back to Syracuse and get them ready for Saturday.
All right, Syracuse will play their final home game of the season. Also, the last men's basketball game of the existing dome the way we know it. The ladies have one more game. Go there. First 1,500 fans in the door get a really cool dome tin, which is awesome. The Tar Heels will enter the dome 11-17, 4-13 in the ACC. They're coming off a win against NC State, but a loss against Louisville, and then two very close games, one against Notre Dame and one against Virginia. The all-time series sits at 14-12 in favor of North Carolina, and we'll have to go all the way back to January 11th, 2014 to look for the Orange's last win, a 57-45 win, where CJ Fair led the Orange with 20 points. Since then, it's been 8 straight losses. It's 6'3", 190-pound freshman guard Cole Anthony at the helm for the Tar Heels with 19.4 points a game. And then we've got 6'9", 235 junior forward Garrison Brooks follows Anthony up with 15.7 points a game, and he leads in rebounds with 8.5 a game as well. So another big man, too, 6'10", 235-pound freshman forward from Richmond, Virginia, by the way, Armando Baycott, okay. He's averaging 9.7 points a game and 8.2 rebounds a game. So the scary part of this one is UNC is, let's see, they're 95 in the net. That makes this a quad 3 game at home. So it's actually it's actually a quad 1 game for UNC. Syracuse sits 59 in the net. So that's a little worrisome to me because I think this is out of the last 5 games once we talked about, after the Louisville game and we looked ahead to these, this was the one I was worried about the most if I had to pick one. And now it's a quad 3 game at home. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I've been nervous about this one too. Like I talked about all year, I wish that we played them earlier in the season because North Carolina, they're a better team than what the record says they are and what the net ranking and all that stuff says, right? I mean, Cole Anthony missed a bunch of games. They've had a couple other players miss some. Huh? It
was like 11 games, I think.
It was and they still have a whole bunch of other guys that have missed games, and I know that they went in a little losing spurt there before they're winning against NC State the other night, in which 4 of those were buzzer beater losses where they lost, I think 2 of them by 1 point and 2 of them by 2 points. So if you talk about this team staying healthy, staying together the way that North Carolina is, then you're talking about a completely different team, a completely different outcome. It's just one of those years for them where the injuries and everything just didn't line up, haven't been lucky, and that's just a dangerous situation because again, they have nothing to lose, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely
and
nothing.
I look at their right, and I know that they have a few guys that I know, like Christian Keeling and obviously Cole Anthony. I know Andrew Platek coming off the bench. A couple guys that can shoot threes, but they're not an outstanding 3-point shooting team. On top of some of the guys that you mentioned, they do have senior guard Brandon Robinson, who starts alongside those guys, alongside with sophomore from Concord, North Carolina, Leaky Black, who's a guard, but he's 6'8". So he's going to be one of those guys that hits the offensive rebound, is going to give us trouble coming from the outside. Hard to get a body on because you're not really looking for someone coming out from there. So Garrison Brooks, he's the tough guy. He's the one that can shoot mid-range jumpers, and he can kind of score all around the inside. And Baycott is just a big body. So hopefully we can get some of these guys in foul trouble, and hopefully Cole Anthony doesn't go off, because you're talking about a guy who coming into this season was projected to be a lottery pick. And when you play in against a lottery pick, anything can happen. I'm not going to lie to you, Sean, nothing this Saturday can happen that would surprise me, because I think that it can go anywhere of the spectrum, from us winning double digits to them winning double digits. And that's just
so from us kicking their ass to getting our asses kicked.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
I know it sucks, doesn't it? I know.
And it's one of those things where it just happens to be a situation where we played these guys 15 games ago without Cole Anthony, like we're good probably.
Oh,
most
yeah,
likely,
I don't think
right?
there's a chance.
And like now, it's just they got the right type of team to be able to beat us, and obviously they got a good coach, and just the history on it, the fact that we just historically don't play good against these guys. I know that I sounded confident about Buddy Boeheim's ankle, but really we never really know, right? So there's all these questions.
Well, it's senior night. Our seniors are going to be pumped up. They're going to want to play.
Sean, we don't have any seniors.
Are you sure?
Name one. We got walk-ons. Maybe the guy that just hit the last 3 against Pittsburgh.
Joe, come on. This is a joke.
Unbelievable.
So, well,
your jokes suck.
Apparently. So, like you said, don't know what to expect. I'm confident. I think that that Syracuse is going to hang. I think it's going to end up being a close game. As far as the foul trouble and stuff, I'm more worried about our guys getting in foul trouble than I am about their guys getting in foul trouble. Or
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just the size matchup. We haven't really won any of these. Can you think of one that we've actually handled pretty well? I know there's been like we did okay with Mooney one time. He still went off. We kind of more so just controlled it.
Right.
But I'm trying to think.
But that's but we can't have, because Garrison Brooks he's gonna have a good game.
Right.
Unless he gets in foul trouble, he's gonna have a good game, and Cole Anthony is gonna make some shots. So I don't know. Like I said, this is the one that I've been most nervous about. And
so what do we got to do, Joe? JG's 3 points.
Them just coming off a win against NC State. Obviously, it's going back to the rebounds. It's going back to the rebounds. We don't know if they're going to have a guy that's going to be able to play that middle. If it's going to be Baycott running the baseline and Garrison Brooks catching it at the free throw line. And I don't know necessarily if this is a team that we can handle like Pittsburgh and allow them that space out there to try to cut off those passes in there. So we got to score.
Yeah,
that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Something tells me we're probably going to have to score more than 72 points.
Let me tell you. And you come out with different energy for different teams because you got you look forward to certain matchups and you take advantage of those things. But if they come out with the energy that they did yesterday, or last night, against Pitt, that's if they played if they could find a happy medium between going too fast and turning the ball over and still being aggressive and just
the first 8 minutes we did nothing.
Right, but I
don't think that we can really afford to do that against North Carolina.
Shots. Our defense was okay. We just couldn't hit shots. So it was it was the first 8 minutes. Yep. So and it felt like 20. So
yeah,
that's how we roll, dude. That's how we roll. It's just always like that. So anyway.
Yeah, game of runs. I know.
So all right, well that is it. Unless you got anything else to add, I'm good. You good? You're good.
Props to the lacrosse team, number 3 in the nation.
Yeah, doing very good. Got an injury there too.
Yeah.
So unfortunately.
Let's get better and win. They play Hobart tomorrow.
All right. Thank you to everybody who participated in fan feedback. Thanks to all of you who take time to listen and actually click this voluntarily and listen to it. We really appreciate it. And I want to thank my bookie, obviously. What are you tooting your own horn over there? What the hell's going on?
It's the Express.
Jeez, So
you just scored a touchdown.
Yeah, well, it's the wrong time of year, bro. It's basketball season.
Yeah, but we just scored a touch. You hear it. Touchdown.
Oh, was that outside your window?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
It's a train that's going by.
Oh, okay. I thought you hit something on your phone. Anyway, you screwed me all up. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Look, thank you to my bookie. Thank you to my bookie. Don't know how much longer the offer is going to last. Go there, use the promo code CHAIR at checkout. When you set your account up, whatever, use the promo code CHAIR. Use it up. Use it up. Use it up.
Hurry.
Thanks to James on guitar. We appreciate you, James. And that's it for Joe. I'm Sean. We're out.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.
Is all that necessary? Is all that necessary?
What?
You.
It's all necessary.
The train, the laughing.
What do you mean? The train, the laughing. What are you talking about? I can't control a train coming by my damn apartment.